Hello and welcome to the NBL1 Show for another week, another big week in our competition. So much to talk about as always. My name's Joel Peterson. Alongside me is our NBL1 Finals MVP, Beck Cole. Hello, Beck.
Hi, JP.
Lovely to see you as always. We're going to start the show with what I think is a contender for shot of the season. And this might be not only in the NBL1. I reckon it'll take a lot to beat this. Let's go to Georgia Smith from the Joondalup Wolves, tied at 78 in OT, time expiring, bang! That is nice.
What I love, her teammate got a steal. She didn't even have a dribble. So there was no momentum going into that. It was pure, both legs chucked it up. But you saw, she was like this. She knew it was going in.
Yeah, she knew it was going in. Called window as well. And there's the bit of the backstory is actually a lot of fun. It was beautifully chronicled by Chris Pike on the NBL1 West app as well. So they trailed by 17 in this game, did Joondalup. It's Georgia Smith's former team. So she's played about 110 games for the Suns. She hit 4 three-pointers between the fourth quarter and in overtime. So 4 of her 5 three-pointers came to close the game, dragged them back, and then hit the dagger. I think it'll take a lot to beat that for our best shot of the year.
There is so much behind that. That storyline is great. And if you're versing your old team in overtime and you've had a great end to the game, honestly, what better feeling can that be?
Yeah, you want to give them the business. That's what she did. She caught up with our team during the week as well to talk us through the celebrations.
We were in overtime and we had free throws. We were down by 1. And I knew the other coach wasn't going to call a timeout. He had 1 left. They threw it in from the baseline, kind of long, and I knew I had 2 seconds. So my teammate, she intercepted the ball and threw it to me, and I knew that I had a bit of time. So I was taught as a kid, always know where the basket is. So I just shot the ball in that direction and hoped for the best. I remember thinking in my head, oh my God, that's going in. And then as soon as I knew it had gone through the net, I just wanted to celebrate with my teammates and our fans and our community. So we had an incredible celebration, and it was a must win. It was so incredible. Oh, this has to be up there with one of my best moments. I think a grand final in the Central. There was a couple of moments in there that would be in my top 3, but that one on Sunday would be definitely the top moment for sure.
Well played, Georgia. That was a hell of a moment, and I look forward to reliving that throughout the course of the season, no doubt. That was right up there in terms of highlights this week. Let's get to some of the rest with Did You See That? Righto, our regular segment where we take you through everything, all the good stuff, all the best stuff that happened around our competition. Let's start it off with Angus Glover, who's plying his trade in the NBL1 South. We know that he can hit threes. We know he can provide a little bit of defence and stuff, but he can still get up as well.
It was so good. He split the defence. They were playing his own. And it casually just looks like he's going up for a layup, and then next thing he's above the rim and he's jamming it down.
Yeah, and they're a nice shade of green, those Ringwood Hawks jerseys as well. They're very pleasing on the eye. And nice, we're sticking with the teams in green. Hornsby Karingai and Kira Hudson had a beautiful little dancing layup over the weekend, Beck.
This was almost one of my favourite plays of the day. This is perfect. You're at training and your coach is saying, we're practicing our rondo moves. She got the step fake on the 1, back to the 2, sold it again with that step through and the left hand finish. That was, to me, that was beautiful.
Yep, chef's kiss, Kira, chef's kiss, very well played. Speaking of nice moves, Sam Daly had a ripper. Now, this Forestville-Sturt game was absolutely full of highlights in the Central on the weekend, and not too many better than this from Sam Daly.
He was so good. He read the defence perfectly. You see number 5, he goes for a little steal, and that spin, that was quick. That was some vintage Daly moves right there.
Yeah, I like the baseline camera too. That gives a nice little look at that one from Sam Daly. Zachary Hudson from the Hills Hornets had a really big sequence over the weekend. This was some really powerful stuff in the NBL1 East. Little steal, and he gets the block, and then finishes it off with a bit of authority.
got to be happy with yourself. If you're getting that rejection, he knows that he used that momentum off and running, and then, he let them know that was a good jam.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep it rolling as well. Jaron Jamison, so for Mackay, this is to take a game to overtime. There's a little bit of a theme coming up in some highlights to come here. So 91-94, a few seconds left. Loose ball, chase it down in the corner, little fadeaway three, got it.
This was impressive. He had to go grab that ball. And he was in the corner, keeping the big flippers inside as well. We all know as a shooter in the corner, that's hard. So, that was a nasty shot for me.
Yep, and that's send it to OT. Very nice stuff from Jaron Jamison. Mia Harvey, famous name in Bendigo basketball. Her dad's jersey hangs in the rafters at the Bendigo Stadium, picks this one at half court against the arch rival Ballarat and bombs it in from halfway.
What I love is she fumbles right there, but she stays with it, gathers her step, chucks it up. Again, I feel like the females, we're doing some good stuff with the half-court shots at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. We highlighted Jessie May Hall in the Scout a few weeks ago. Really talented player again up at Hornsby. And she went and read the Jaron Jamison playbook and thought, I see your corner three from the right-hand side. I'm going to top you with this. Rainbow.
I agree. I feel like this is like next level up because she's falling out of court again. She had to go grab that. That was, to me, again, another pretty three-point shot.
And that was high arcing. That was above the shot clock. That's a high degree of difficulty.
It is. I just can't believe it. Again, grabbing that on the outstretch, still keeping that form. Like you said, nice rainbow shot. It definitely looked good for the highlight reel.
Yeah, and she's a name to watch. We know that. We talk about so much that she does the defensive end. So, she's still got some tricks there. And then one man that I wanted to give some love to, the big fella from the Hobart Chargers, big Ole Augustine, the German big man. Well, we had a bit of fun at Ole's expense a few weeks ago because he got absolutely mashed on. So we thought when he got the chance to throw one down, we had to throw him into the highlights. He did that on the weekend. The German word for hammer is Das Hammer, and that is what he throws down here with the big righty jam, Beck.
I love it. The big man with the nice pick and roll action. No one was defending or wanting to take a charge on him then. So I'm glad the big man, he's on the highlight reel today.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to see that. He's not the only big man doing good things in the NBL1 South, of course. We know, and we've spoken about Harry Frolling's return to the court in recent times with the Melbourne Tigers. He featured in a recent episode of The Huddle where he spoke about his comeback, his injuries and his journey back to professional basketball.
Yeah, so I had a epidural hematoma, I think it's called. So it's a bleed between the inside of your skull and your brain. Obviously, all my brain was squished to one side, and it was a long recovery. I was obviously the concussion symptoms and all that times 1,000, as you know, if you've had concussions, and just feeling off. Like obviously your brain chemistry is all messed up too. So I went into a spiral of self-doubt and, depression and all that sort of thing, and got into a pretty dark place. And, you can sometimes never recover from all that. And luckily I had a support system. I'm grateful I had a good support system around me and all that helped me through the tough times. And, it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. It's not like a knee or, Achilles or an injury where, hey, here's your timeline. It's usually 6 to 9 months or 9 to 12 months. It's like, hey, one, you're lucky to be alive. Two, to live a normal life, you might never work again. Like, not even basketball, you might never be able to work a proper job again if you can't focus for longer than half an hour, if you get headaches reading stuff, so it was a long process to go through, but I think I've come out the other side of it as a better person, and I'd never wish it on anyone what I've been through, but coming out the other side now, I'm like, yeah, there's going to be hiccups in my return and in my career and whatever, but what really out of my control, what can happen to me that's worse than what's already happened from what I've been through and where I'm headed. The sky's the limit for me, I think.
It is such a great story what Harry Froling is doing at the moment, given all that he's been through with that horrible injury in Beck. I mean, it's a tribute to his resilience and fighting his way back. And now that he's got his opportunity, of course, spent some time in the NZNBL, now he's back in the NBL1. He's making the absolute most of it.
He really is. It's amazing to see Harry back in the league. And I just think exactly like you said, his resilience, obviously his passion for the game. And I think he's just such a great addition to the Tigers. One, he really brings that 5-man big presence inside, great off the pick and rolls, but also he's another shooter to add to that team to stretch and really create some space for the guard. So I think a great addition to the Tigers. And like we said, Froling, welcome back.
Yes, if there's one thing that our man Andrew Gaze probably didn't need down at the Melbourne Tigers, another shooting big man, given he's got Jack Purchase down there. But Harry Froling, he certainly fits the bill there. And I mean, you know, the numbers look really good. There'll be no doubt that there's some NBL clubs that will be sort of just wondering what he might be able to offer. But, you know, you think of this family and their sort of exalted status within Australian basketball. Of course, Alicia and Keely doing really good things at WNBL level. We know that Sam's got a bit of a journey to get back to his best from injury. But, I mean, what an amazing role model to look up to see what your brother's gone through when you're facing a bit of a struggle in your own, to find some sort of inner strength to go through your own battle.
Couldn't agree more. And a head injury, it's more, you realise, one, okay, I want to just live a happy and healthy life. That's period. And then, hey, now I can get on the basketball court. I'm so blessed and lucky I get to, you know, play the game that I love again. And, you know, for Harry, he had that warm-up, like you said, in the NBL. Now he's back in the NBL1. And I'm sure the more games he's playing, he's building confidence, getting his rhythm. And like you said, will there be an NBL opportunity for him? You never know, coming off the bench, building it back up small again. So I can't wait to see what Harry Froling can do. Yeah,
Harry Froling, Sarah Blitzarves, they're full of good stories, that Melbourne Tigers team. And we've spoken about that across the course of the season. Great to see Harry back doing his thing on the basketball court in the NBL1 South. Let's take a closer look at a couple of players we think are worth highlighting with the Scout. Couple of big names and a couple of big performances to highlight out of the weekend here, Beck. One name who's been doing some good things in recent times, 3x3 level, Opals level, now at the NBL1 level, is Mila Soa, who we know has all the talent in the world, but put up a 49-point game at the weekend.
Super impressive. She has a scorer's mentality. Whenever she's touching the ball, she wants to score. And obviously we know she's a lights out shooter. Like we saw there, she loves that little step back and real crafty guard. She's a bit smaller, so she likes a spin move, likes those up and under step throughs. But yeah, what a game she had on the weekend.
And you come off a national program, you know, against the Tall Ferns where she did some really good things. She would have taken a lot of confidence back into her stint with Brisbane in the NBL1 North.
She would, especially with Opals and 3x3, like you said. 3x3 really works on your one-on-one game, and then with the Trans-Tasman Showdown, just playing at that elite level, you learn some things with your team. Hey, what can I improve on? What am I doing really well? And you bring that back into your association, and then you help your team grow as a leader. Yeah, absolutely balling out is Mila Soa. So too is Matt Kenyon, who had 45, 11 and 6 in a wild game in the NBL1 North over the weekend. So 127-116 was the final score. His Logan team scored 23 points in just the overtime period. He was 20 of 27 from the free throw line in this game. The numbers are absolutely absurd, Beck, and a win to go with it. I'm just so happy to see Kenny scoring and being aggressive. In the NBL, he doesn't really look to be as attacking. He wants to be more of a facilitator. But for me, he has those tools in his toolbox. So I'm like beyond happy that he has those stats that you're saying. And for me, he was so poised in that game, really crafty around the rim and then shooting his open shot. So come on, Kenny, keep doing it, because the 36ers, they're going to have a good team. You add his defence as well, that's going to be a bad lineup.
Yep, I think Matt Weston, Mike Wells and the Adelaide 36ers crew would have been looking on to that. Very, very pleased with what Matt Kenyon put up across the course of the weekend. So they were a couple of the performances to celebrate out of the weekend, with some big numbers going the way of Mila Soa. And for Matt Kenyon, we've taken a look at some of our highlights. There's some good ones that we didn't get to. There's so many across the course of our competition every single weekend. We can't fit them all in Did You See That? That's why we've got our top plays presented in the men's and women's, as always, by Amy.
The Suns not using their timeout. It's picked off by Harden. Smith. Oh my God!
Court there finds an open opportunity, but because the Mustangs are really just making it hard for them. May Hall.
Oh! Yep. She's looking from half court. Is it in? Oh! It is! Bang!
Here's Hippolyte for three. Had to beat the shot clock and does!
And no one doesn't fall for it. Mansfield, long three!
Oh.
Believe that!
Left hand, back to Konstantopoulos. The secondary unit doing some work. Oh, Daisy Hawking with the finish and the spin!
It's on the fast break.
The beautiful behind the back, the bucket, and the foul.
Jamie Hale, usually a very good shooter. As, Duffelmeyer, a little bit of razzle-dazzle. As Pell said, there is no way.
Oh, what a move, Glenn.
Oh, fantastic move.
The rest.
The ball very loosely handled there by the Senators. It's a bit of a mess.
Oh!
Put back.
Oh!
Kawani. Here's short. Sykes going to go upstairs. Josh Sykes down the middle!
You know, some of the other players, as Lamar Patterson goes off the back of Jake Allen.
The crowd in the last 2 minutes here as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a pass!
Putting up a tough shot. Oh, can't get it to go. Jordy Wilson underneath.
To Daniel Johnson
for three. Puts it in.
Big thanks to the good folks at Amy for presenting our top plays in the men's and women's each week, and a shout out to Greg Mays on the game-winning putback at the end there. We like to celebrate and highlight each week our teams doing some good stuff on social media. One that came across our desk this week was the Maitland Mustangs, who had a little bit of fun with their photo day, both on the men's and the women's side this week. Let's have a look at what the men got up to first.
I see the crystal raindrops fall and the beauty of it all when the sun comes shining to make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you sometime and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water. Cover your eyes. Good things might come to those who wait, but not for those who wait too late. We gotta go for all we know. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building the castles in the sky. Just the two of us.
Very, very cool stuff, the family photo at the end. I mean, some of those are a bit cringe, Beck, but I don't know, the thinking man on the bridge went pretty hard, I reckon.
I loved seeing this on social media when it was really trending. And what I love, they would have been doing media day, you know, at the start of the season. So they definitely would have gotten to know each other a little better after that.
Yes, yeah, that's for sure. The women did some funny stuff too. We'll bring you that one next week, but it's a nice little series from the Maitland Mustangs. That's all we've got time for here on the NBL1 Show this week. Thanks for your company, Beck. Thanks for your company. Go well this weekend.
Thank you, JP, and I'll see you next week.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks for joining us here on the NBL1 Show. Enjoy your KO Game of the Week.